What a week. It's only Tuesday though. We got back to school parent nights, we got Eagles games, we got another back to school parent night, we got some school event at a bar. That's rough. Or is it a brewery? I think it's a brewery. Then there's a soccer game we got to go to. Then there's homecoming. Then there's some other homecoming thing. That's Saturday. So that takes us through the whole week. And then Sunday I run. I think Monday's a paperwork day at home, so I'm looking forward to next Monday. Let's do this. 103 days to exit plan. Let's get the 19th out of the way. We are on Tuesday, the 20th. I like talking about podcasts on a Tuesday. And listening to all these podcasts, there are some overused terms in podcast language, let's say. 100%. Circle back. Put a pin in it. Let's bookmark this and come back to it. So tired of hearing some of this terminology. 100% tired of hearing some of this stuff. Anyway, though, the podcast that I want to push, I just found out about this past Sunday, and it's called A History of Rock Music in 500 Songs, and it's by Andrew Hickey. I got a link, don't worry, brentevans.net. And this guy takes a look at the history of rock and roll music, starting with a few pre-rock songs that clearly influenced the very beginning of rock and roll genre, and it ends in 1999. First episode begins in 1939 with Flying Home by the Benny Goodman Sextet, and currently we're only at episode 153. That's all that's out there right now. That one has Heroes and Villains by the Beach Boys. So there is a whole lot more to go. And this guy, Andrew Hickey, at first, I heard his voice and I was like, oh, what's that? But then it really grew on me. And I'm really liking the sound, the presentation, everything about the podcast here. Here's the guy's voice.
A History of Rock Music in 500 Songs by Andrew Hickey.
See? And there's something about it that locks me in. I always listen to the podcast on Spotify because that's my music app. I really don't listen to too many podcasts in there, but that way, and listening to it in the Spotify app, it's at regular speed, where typically my other podcast app, I have everything sped up. And with him playing so many songs, I like having it in the Spotify app. So again, this is called A History of Rock Music in 500 Songs by Andrew Hickey. And sorry, I got ready for jujitsu here. But I did learn about this podcast from one of my favorite newsletters called Recommendo. Again, a link will be at brentevans.net. And each and every time I get this newsletter, every Sunday, always seems to find something in my Amazon shopping cart, or else I download something new, get a new newsletter. They're always sending me all over the place. And of course, a podcast. And this is the one that they had suggested. And I'm totally digging into this one. So all those links are at the website, brentevans.net. Ooh, I gotta pace myself for this week. Pace myself. Quote of the day. Re-examine all that you have been told. Dismiss that which insults your soul. Walt Whitman. Whitman. That's a street that one of my friends, best friends of all time, grew up on. I had a quote from Emerson somewhere. And I know where you live, Joe. All right. That's all I got. Enjoy the now. I'll be back at you tomorrow on Wednesday. Make good choices. I'll see you then.